Hey, Cub fans! Welcome back to Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Cubs just finished sweeping the Astros. They won today's game 3-1, and I guess I just don't mind saying I almost cried at some point during this game, and I guess I'm man enough to tell you about that. So we'll get to that piece. But it's all good. Cubs up their record to 16-9. Sweep the Astros at home. We're headed to Boston, and I'm looking forward to that. We got Shota, Ben Brown, and Jordan Wick scheduled for a weekend series in Fenway, and belly going down, and we just still continue to find a way, even though we don't really hit that much. We only had 7 hits today. Nico had 3 of them. We walked 4 times, struck out 10. We left 10 on base. We were only 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. So, you look at it and you go, well, how are we finding a way? Well, the staff. Our pitchers have really picked us up. Javier Assad was awesome today. Hayden Wesneski was lights out. And Neris was exciting again in the 9th. So we just keep finding a way. 16-9. And we'll just see. We're going to Fenway, and we'll be tested out there. Let's go ahead and give you the review of this game. It's such an entertaining game. Justin Verlander, it was a pleasure for me today to watch Verlander. He's now the oldest player in the major leagues, and we're not going to have much more of him. And I'm not that I've been a fan of his. That's not even. I'm not even close to being a fan. It's just I'm a baseball guy, and looks like a first ballot Hall of Famer in my mind. And to get a chance to watch him pitch at Wrigley, I think it was the first time he's done that since 2012, and I just really enjoyed that. And he did not disappoint. He was all of an old Hall of Famer today. Sort of a pleasure to watch. I'll give you those details too. Let's get into the lineups. Cubs started Nico at second base leading off. Talk was in right field hitting second. Hap DH in the 3-hole. Michael Bush playing first base hitting cleanup. Dansby at shortstop hitting 5th. Nicky Barrels, Madrigal was at third base hitting 6th. Miguel Amaya catching hitting 7th. Pete Crow Armstrong got his first start of the season in center field hitting 8th. And Alexander Canario was in left field today, hitting 9th, and we were pretty anemic. The 3 runs that we got all came in the 6th inning, and we were pretty much shut down by Justin Verlander. Let me talk about the first inning. First inning, Nico singles. Nico had 3 hits. First one was in the first inning. Talk walked, one of Talkman's 3 walks on the day, and Hap walked. So first inning, we got bases loaded, nobody out against Verlander, and I'm thinking, this is how you get guys like that early. You probably don't get them. Well, we didn't get him early enough. I guess he flipped the switch. He got bases loaded, no outs in the first, and he flipped the switch. And that fastball of his up and that nasty curveball, just a delight to watch. If I wasn't a Cub fan, I'd be really enjoying it more. But looking back on it now that we won, he just turned it up a notch, and he strikes out Bush, strikes out Dansby, and he gets Madrigal with a fly out to center to get out of that first inning. And from that point on, we were done. He just had our number, and I started taking notes early. And pitch count. Took Verlander 29 pitches to get out of that first. So I'm thinking that's the key. You've got to work some at-bats to get Verlander's pitch count up so that he can't go 7. And I don't know if that was the game plan or not, but it sure happened. So it takes me 29 pitches to get out of the first inning. He's at 62 pitches after the third, 84 pitches after the fourth, and in the 5th inning, 15 pitches, and he's got to go. He's up to 95 pitches. So if the game plan was to get Verlander's pitch count up so you could get him out of the game, that game plan worked. So Verlander goes 4 1/3 inning, just gives up 3 hits, all to Nico. Nico got 3 hits off of Verlander today. I'm sure Nico's really happy about that. Verlander did walk 4 guys, though, and that was probably the problem for him pitch count-wise. Struck out 7, no runs. His ERA is now down 174. But I also made a note. Miguel Amaya had an at-bat in the 4th inning where he struck out, but it was a 13-pitch at-bat. And at that time, in that place, in that inning, I'm like, yeah, just keep fouling him off. It was a great at-bat, even though it ended with a strikeout. And Nico had Talk had a 7-pitch walk during the sequence. Hap had a 9-pitch walk. So we just got Verlander out, and then while that was going on, Javier Assad had his thumb on him. So I felt really good about it. As soon as we got his pitch count up and he got pulled with 1 out in the 5th, I just felt like we got it. We're going to win this game. And we certainly did. So let's get to the inning where we scored 3, and I'll talk about where I almost cried. 6th inning, Dansby singles and steals 2nd. Madrigal singles. He's got him 1st and 3rd. And Amaya is he gets an RBI on a sacrifice. It was kind of a weird scenario. We had Madrigal on 1st, and he was running on the pitch. And Amaya hit kind of a flare to right field. Well, Madrigal sees it. He can't tell if the right fielder Tucker's going to catch it or not. So he heads back to first base. Well, he doesn't get there. He short hops it. But now Madrigal's momentum is going back to first. He's got to square it around and head to second. Well, by that time they threw him out. It was a bang-bang play at second. So Amaya got credit for a fielder's choice, not a single, in the RBI, and Madrigal got thrown out at second base. But it wasn't Mags' fault. There was really nothing he could do. He made the right decision, I think, and it was just the way it happened. But that's okay because PCA comes up and gets his first hit, his first home run to put us ahead. It was a 107.2 mile an hour jack to right field, 396 feet. And it was kind of interesting because he ambushed a 95 mile an hour four-seamer that was middle, third in, middle up. I mean, it was right there. And why he ambushed him was it was a second pitch. The first pitch, the guy airmailed a wild pitch to the backstop, like he hit the bull. I mean, it was a bad wild pitch. So looking back on it, PCA's thinking this guy's wild. He's just going to try to get a strike here. And he was quick to it, inner part, and he turned on it. And guys, this PCA home run stroke looks awesome. It was gorgeous. That lefty stroke, I think that's the first time I'd seen it, the potential in that. And that's not to say that I don't think he's got the potential to go 0 for 12 again, because he does. He really struggled with Verlander's heat. He was behind it. Best thing ever happened to Pete Crow Armstrong today was getting Verlander out. But I think he was guessing fastball because the guy just airmailed a wild pitch, so his bat was quick. But either way, he hit this ball, and his stroke looked so good. And, of course, the emotions for PCA after all of this, putting us up 2 runs, the Wrigley crowd was just going crazy. And, he's such an entertaining, dynamic, emotional sort anyway. Him rounding the bases and, that whole time, that's when I almost cried. I didn't cry. I almost did. My arms were up. I was really into it. I got a little emotional too because I've been feeling for him. We've all been rooting for PCA. We need him. And, boy, in that moment, it really looked good. So he puts us up 3-0. That's enough. Astros got the one in the first, and we'll talk about that in a second. But from that point on, I felt like we were cruising. So let's round out what everybody did today. Nico had another great day. He's sitting over 300 now. He went 3 for 5. Talk went 1 for 4, but on base 4 times, had 3 walks. Happer went 0 for 2. Got hit by a pitch and had a walk in the first. Bush went 0 for 4. I don't mean to alarm you. Bush is 0 for 4 again. A couple of strikeouts, couple of flyouts. So I think that's, let me do my math, 6. That's 8 strikeouts in the last 3 games. We'll see. I don't know. I had a guy mention to me about, he's been getting good pitches, and that's true too. So, I mean, we'll just see. We're gonna need him to turn it around here pretty quickly. Dansby went 1 for 4. Strikeout, had the walk in the 6th inning, stole second. So we got a couple of steals today, which was weird. Madrigal went 1 for 4. Amaya went 0 for 4. Had that hit in the RBI, but when Madrigal got called out on the force, took that hit away from Miguel. PCA went 1 for 4 with the homer, 2 RBIs, run scored. And Canario went 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, hit by pitch. And Canario stole a base in the 8th inning, got his first career steal. So it looks like we might be making maybe a concentrated effort to steal a little more bases because we might have to. Again, 3 runs, 7 hits, all we had. Left a lot of guys on base, had a little bit of traffic, and left them loaded. So offensively, we can't. We got to still get some guys going. Morel will probably be back in the lineup in third base this weekend. He'll come in like 4 for his last 45. So we got him slumping. We got Bush slumping. I thought Mervis might get a shot late, but he did not. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how our lineup sets up in Boston this weekend. So that's the offensive side. Let's go to the pitchers. I'm just going to say this about Javier Assad. He was really good today. I'm talking like the best I've seen him. And as I was watching him do it, it reminded me of how we were talking about Jordan Wicks, how I think Jordan Wicks' last outing was his best. And I think the same for me is true with Javier, which means you're starting to see these two guys are getting some reps in, right? And they're learning, and I'm starting to see it. Javier was really good. His final line, he went 5 2/3, only gave up 4 hits, 1 run, walked 1, struck out 5. He came in with an ERA of 2.11 on the season. It's down to 2.0 even. 85 pitches total, 54 strikes. But I don't think that line does him justice. I think he was better than that. He gave up the 1 run in the first. Let me walk you through it. Altuve led off with I'm going to call it a slow roller, 56-mile-per-hour exit velocity, 2 hops behind the bag where Nico was there. But by the time Nico corralled it and made the throw, Altuve beat it out. So that's the first hit. And then they hit and run on him with Bregman. Nico goes to cover the bag. Bregman hits a ground ball to the vacated spot. So hit and run first and third. Okay. So they manufactured something. Javier didn't do anything wrong. He didn't give up any hard contact. Then he gets Alvarez to fly out to Canario and left, sac fly. There's your run. That's it. That's the only run Javier gave up. Then he gets Tucker to fly out to Canario and Diaz to fly out to talk in right. That's it. 22 pitches to get out of that inning. Little duck snort here and nothing to it. Then he goes 1, 2, 3 in the second, third, and fourth. Second inning only took him 11 pitches. Third inning takes him 8 pitches. Go 1, 2, 3. Fourth inning takes him 14 pitches, and he's out. He gets out of the 5th inning. He got Pena on a 1-3 tapper. He's sawing guys off, by the way. Sawed off Dubon. Sawed off Pena, a little tapper, back to him. Then he walks Singleton. Got a 6-4 ground out to McCormick and a fly out to Dubon. So just that single in the 5th. Then in the 6th inning, he gets Altuve to pop up to Dansby. He gets Bregman on a bloop single. It was a flare over Bush's head that Nico just couldn't get to it. So there's another hit that wasn't hit hard. Probably had a 45-mile-an-hour exit velocity. Gets Alvarez to fly out to Canario. Then Tucker singled off of Bush's glove. Bush made a diving attempt. Got his glove on. It was close, but it trickled away. So that leaves first and second with 2 outs in the 6th. and that's when they came and got Javier. I was rooting for him to get through the 6th inning. He got within 1 out of doing that. So he pulled him for Wesneski. Well, Wesneski, he just picked up right where he left off. Let me give you Wesneski's line. He pitched 2 1/3 inning, gave up nothing, struck out 1. 20 pitches, 17 strikes, in and out. So Wesneski comes in the 6th inning with 2 outs for Javier and gets Diaz to pop up to Nico. 7th inning, he gets Pena on a 5-3 ground out, Singleton on a pop up to Dansby, and McCormick on a ground out to Dansby, 1-2-3. In the 8th inning, he gets Dubon to ground out to Dansby. Then probably the best play I saw all day was Wesneski. With 1 out in the 8th, Altuve comes up and he lays a bunt down, tries to bunt for a hit. The bunt is bunted relatively hard, but it's to the right of the mound. And Wesneski falls off, right? He falls off left. So this bunt looks like it's going to clear him and be in no man's land, and with Altuve's speed, it's going to be a single. I'm telling you, Wesneski jumped off this mound like a cat. He got over there, he backhanded it, and he turned and fired and threw a strike to Bush to get Altuve. Bang, bang. It was a great play. It reminded me of what Justin Steele doesn't look like when he comes off the mound trying to field a bunt. It's like the exact opposite of that. Wesneski, quick as a cat coming off the mound. Great play. And then he strikes out Bregman to get out of the 8th. He's jacked up. Wesneski, all of a sudden, Wesneski's really good. So, 9th inning, Neris, which, we've been talking about. What's he going to do? I think they've made the decision. They're going to go ahead and give Neris a shot at closing. Another adventure, though. He walks Alvarez and he walks Tucker. Took him 19 pitches, and he walked 2 guys, so it's already a struggle. He regroups. He gets Diaz on a grounder to Nico. Nick Madrigal picks it up. Goes, I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you about it. He could have turned 2. He was well behind the bag. He fielded the ground ball. He should have picked it up and just fired to second to Nico, see if Nico could turn it. For whatever reason, he didn't. So he takes 6 steps. He goes 6 hard steps to the bag at third to get the force and then throws it over for the 5 unassisted. I know we could debate it, but I'm not sure why he made that decision. He should have fielded it and just gone right to Nico, but he didn't. So we just get the 1 out. Then Neris gets Pena to ground out 6-4, kind of a slow roller to Dansby. Wouldn't have time to turn it. And then he gets Singleton to ground out to Bush unassisted. Bush made a nice play, diving stop to his right to corral that. So 9th inning was another experience. 27 pitches to get out of it, but we did. So just a great win, and just doing what we needed to do against Verlander, just surviving, and that's what we did. We just battled, but he's better than we are. Other than Nico. Nico was hammering. But everybody else just really struggled against him. And we got his pitch count up, got him out, and then it gave us that opportunity, and we took advantage of it. But, boy, Javier Assad, coming off of what Tyone did yesterday and what Wicks did on Tuesday, boy, it sure bodes well. And what Wesneski's doing, Luke Little was up for a little bit. If Wesneski hadn't have gotten Bregman in the 8th inning, we were going to get Luke Little to come in and get Alvarez and Tucker, the 2 lefties, but that never happened. So Luke was close to coming in, didn't. We haven't seen Keegan. Mark Leiter Jr. was probably down today. We haven't seen Yancey for a few games, so we're relatively fresh heading out of town, and because we're getting the 6 innings out of the starters, and the relievers that we're bringing in are getting the job done. So. Fantastic game. I just so much fun. PCA's home run, the Wrigley Field crowd, the optimism now that we have with PCA. We've been talking about who's going to pick up the slack. We got Mervis, we got Canario, we got PCA, the kids. We got Bush, we got Morrell. We got some guys that are sort of maybe laying in the weeds, getting ready to pop up, and I think we got enough of them that all we need is 1 or 2 of them to get it done. So I mentioned yesterday I guess we got to get a 3-run homer from somebody every day. Well, today it was PCA. So It's all good. We've got Shota going tomorrow. We got Ben Brown and Jordan Wicks on Sunday. And I'll go ahead and get us a scouting report for those Red Sox because I don't know that much about them. I don't know who they've got. Pedroia doesn't play for them anymore, I don't think, so I'll have to check it out. But I'll get a Red Sox scouting report up for us, give you plenty of time to look at it before first pitch on Friday night. It's all good, guys. Cubbies, 16-9. Good start, even though with all the adversity. We can't complain. So we'll go to Fenway and see what happens there. Guys, thanks for joining me here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Really appreciate it. And I'll be back with you with a Red Sox scouting report. Go Cubs, go.